Hey, this is Yulia and welcome to my channel. Here I talk all things Canada, learning languages, travel in the world. And today we'll be talking about one important topic, resume. It doesn't matter if you're a student, you're a newly grad, or you're just a young professional who's looking for a job, this video will help you level up your resume and get any job you want. If you're planning to move to Canada or the United States, then watch this video till the end and I'll reveal all the biggest mistakes that you should avoid in your resume. Let's go! Let's start with the structure. A good structure will look something like this. So first of all, you will have your name, your position. I would add some contact information so a person and HR can easily target your phone number, your email, so they can invite you for an interview. The next section will depend on who you are, what you do, because if you have some work experience, then I would say put work first and then education. If you're still studying and you don't have much experience in, in the industry, then I would say go with education first. And then it's gonna be like work experience, volunteer project, so you can kind of show the recruiter that you're not just studying for 7 years, you're doing some projects, some volunteering and gaining knowledge and experience. Depending on the industry or your desired job, you can add some skills or tools, but don't add stuff like I'm super communicative, I'm a born leader, I'm multitasker, I can work under the pressure. That was relevant like 10 years ago. Now no one cares because everyone literally pastes this in their resume, so just find something more creative or something more relevant to your position. Same with tools. List the relevant tools you're using for the specific job, for industry in general. So let's say I'm a designer, I would put Figma, Sketch, Adobe, Zeppelin, InVision, Principle, the list goes on. So you kind of get the idea that you will put all the relevant software that you use. But again, make it to the point, because I can put so much stuff on my resume like Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, blah blah, but it's not relevant to my position. So just pick, 5 tools that you use and put it in the tools section. If you are a student who doesn't have any experience yet, I would suggest having a volunteer/project section where you can actually showcase your experience. It doesn't really matter if it was a school project or it was a volunteering experience. The bottom line is you need to show that you've gained some experience relevant to the position and some skills, or maybe you've learned how to use some tools, so make sure to list them there as well. But what is a successful resume anyways? Let's talk about that. So first of all, if you have less than 10 years of experience, then you will need to keep your resume on one page. If you have 10 or more years, like you're applying for senior position, for management, then it's okay to have 2 pages. But again, if you're a student, if you're a young professional, 1 page is enough. Just make everything super short and sweet. And that's actually my second tip. Make everything short and sweet, but keep relevant information, relevant metrics. So instead of saying I served like 100 people daily, say what happened by you serving these people daily. Maybe some sales increased, maybe something else happened. So avoid writing just like your duties, but focus on the results instead. And while writing those descriptions, those bullet points, use strong words. Instead of using boring words like used, did, made, use stronger words like utilized, facilitated, collaborated, conducted. You can find all the synonyms online. Literally type a word, take synonyms. And then the first link is gonna be a dictionary where you can find all the synonyms for the word. You're welcome. One of the biggest tips I could give you is study the description. So when you're applying for a job, take a look at your job description and then see what they're asking for. Then use the words from the job description and implement them in your resume. You don't have to copy everything and paste. If they ask you for, collaborated with blah blah blah, you can use the word collaborated, or you can say worked closely, worked with different teams. This way, when your resume is gonna be scanned by automated system, it will pass. And speaking of ATS, applicant tracking system, customize your resume and your cover letters based on the job description of the company. This way, the automated system will detect the words kind of similar to what they're asking for, and your resume will pass this automated system. Another tip here, you can add some hobbies if, let's say, you have some space in your resume, or if it's relevant to your position, you can add some hobbies being like, I don't know, hiking, music, cooking. If you're applying for a company, I don't know, Uber Eats, you can say, I love cooking, I like trying new dishes. So it's kind of like relevant to the position. Some companies might even ask you about what you do in your free time, so you might as well just put it on your resume. This way, the employer will see what kind of person you are. And let's talk about the biggest mistakes to avoid. First of all, no photos on resumes in North America. I know in some countries people still use photos on the resumes, but this is not the case for Canada and the United States, so there is no discrimination based on your age, sex, disabilities, skin color, stuff like that. So please remember, no photo, no your face on the resume, because some companies might even turn your resume down and be like, we just need plain text, sorry. Another mistake that people make is they add so much graphics to their resume, but the thing is, it will not pass the automated system. Yes, it's nice to have different colors and different patterns and different lines with different colors, but then when the computer scans it, it's gonna be like, I can't read it. You know, sometimes when you apply for a job and they're like, upload your resume, and then it grabs the information from different sections and it's all over the place. That's because you have your resume all colored with graphics, stuff like that. So please don't do that. You can have two versions of your resume, fun one, not fun one. So when you see there is an automated system, then you can submit your plain version, but then if you go to an interview in person, then you can bring your fun one. The third mistake is do not copy someone else's resume. I used to do that too when I was younger. When I just graduated from a college, I was like, oh, I'm gonna just, find one template online and then I'm gonna copy it, all good. Or I was going to Google and be like, how do I describe this? How do I describe that? Just don't do that. First of all, recruiters, HRs, they know all the templates, all the popular, resumes online. So they will know you stole someone's work and will refuse you. So just make your own resume. It doesn't matter if it's gonna be ugly, but at least it won't be someone else's resume. Another no-no for Canadian resumes is saying references available upon request. This is so old school, but people still do that. Well, first of all, a potential employer will see all the companies on your resume. Second of all, they can all contact your previous workplaces and ask for the references. Why would people still write that? I follow a bunch of HRs, a bunch of recruiters, and they all say that it's no, please don't do that on your resume. Another mistake that people make is they actually forget to put their location and their contact information. Well, it's okay when you're applying for a remote position. Let's say they ask you to be in North America and you're like, whatever. But still, you need to at least put your country there, your city maybe, if it's location sensitive job. So the recruiter knows who are you, where are you from, how is it gonna work? Because if you are located, I don't know, in Moscow and you're planning to work with North America, the time difference is 7 to 8 hours, and not all of the recruiters would like to work with you because it's gonna be night in Moscow and it's gonna be day in Canada. So don't forget to put your location. Another thing that people forget is the cover letter. I used to be one of those people who were like, I'm awesome, just hire me. But then I realized people might need to see the logic behind why I'm awesome. So please don't skip this part. Even if it's optional, it's good to write a note saying, hey, this is me, this is what I have in terms of experience and qualification, or projects and volunteering. This is why I want to work for you. stuff like that. But cover letters is a whole different story for another video, and if you want that one, you can let me know in the comments. But yeah, don't skip that part because for some recruiters it's like super important. And last but not least, don't use those diagrams to showcase your skills. You know, when people are like, oh, I know Photoshop for like 8 out of 10. How can you say that? Like, how do you judge? How do you, like, there are so many questions about those diagrams. Like, why would you put it there? Just say you know Photoshop. That's it. You don't need to explain what level of Photoshop you know. Same with me, when someone asks for JavaScript, I'm like, I know JavaScript. Even though it's like a tiny bit, I still say I know JavaScript. Well, if I get a test or something, then I'll Google, you know, and like do the test. But I'm not like I know JavaScript 1 out of 10. People be like, like we need more than that. Just be to the point and be like, I know that software, comrade. So okay, we kind of got the structure, the do's and don'ts, but where can you make a resume? If you're a designer, you can make a resume in like Figma, Sketch, but if you're not that kind of person, you can always use Canva. They have so many templates, but be careful because a lot of templates are super graphical, super like, you know, bright colors, stuff like that. So I would use those templates, but adjust the colors, the structure based on the needs. And this is it for today. I hope the video was helpful. If so, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any other videos, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!